I go outdoors, summer and winter, plow through the snow, whatever it is. The point will come where I can't do it anymore, but that's what I'm doing at this point. So I don't know if that answers your question well. I know that there are programs, and I know some of them are effective. I'm not personally that well acquainted with them. I think the issue there is that it'd be broad enough to have application outside of that program itself. It's no good being able to just remember something better within a program if it is not transferable into life situations. Okay? So now, go to a senior community center. That's what I would think. Go there where you're playing games, where you're doing stuff together. That's going to keep your mind as well as your body active. Get together with other people to the extent that you can. Okay? I don't know if that answers it, but that's my answer. Yeah?
I think one thing about this is always try to learn something new.
Learning new things.
Yeah, learn something new.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you learn something new?
You take a course, you
Okay.
try to do art thing.
Right.
Something different.
Okay, I'll tell you what my wife and I did. I mean, my life is not the issue here, but just to give an example. We signed up at Tri-C and took ceramics last year. Right? Now I've got a beautiful ceramic cow that now is in my office. And my wife made a lovely ceramic turtle that sits in our backyard. You know? And we had a hell of a good time. It was terrific. We were with all these young kids who were all planning what they're doing with their husbands and boyfriends and girlfriends and whatever, and all the crazy stuff of their lives was talked about all the time in this room. So it was kind of a hoot doing that, but it's lots of fun. Modeling clay is just a lot of fun. I heard about, you were telling about your music program out at the enjoyment of going to recitals out at Oberlin. This gentleman who lives in Oberlin. I mean, getting out and that kind of thing. But new things, that's a very good point. Pick up something new. Check it out.
One way to get new things all the time.
What?
One way to get new things every day is to read a newspaper.
Read a newspaper.
And another thought along.
Or go to the library.
And get to know young people and be able to spend
Yeah.
some time with them.
I think one of our great advantages in Kendal is that we're not just kind of sequestered in a community where old guys are the only people, old ladies are the only ones we know, right? I mean, we can know young people. I mean, get in situations where you can be with children, young people. Do some tutoring. Do something like that. Get engaged in somebody's life like that, right? That's mental health. That's the way. And there are degrees of this. I mean, it isn't that, I really can't. Okay, I know maybe some can't, but there are degrees of this that are possible. I believe, and I know some of you probably can't do it or don't want to do it, but the computer is a marvelous device, or an iPad. I mean, you can just have a lot of fun with that thing. I don't own one myself. My wife does. I own a computer. I use a computer all the time. But the iPad combines computer stuff with just fun stuff. Looking at pictures. I take a lot of photographs, too. That's another thing I do. I love just sitting in front of my computer. I put them in I'm just watching all these pictures from all these places I've been. I just love doing that. Just going back, remembering what I've seen and done. Other question? Yes.
I used to read a lot. Then I stopped reading because I couldn't make out the words. I mean, and but I just found out that I've been reading now large print. I go to the library and the large print. I've started reading again. I'm reading a book a week or something.
Terrific.
And that's what I didn't realize that until just recently.
Okay, knowledge of things of this should be somehow brought into our lives. I mean, there are lots of resources. Let me tell you another one. Let's say you can't read at all. Okay? Audiobooks are incredible. Now, one of my fondest memories as a child was my mother reading to me. Frankly, I'll tell you. And to have a good audiobook, I mean, it just puts me in a mind that takes me right back close to that kind of warm feeling of just listening to this thing. I just did the autobiography of Mark Twain. It just came out in a 20-disc thing, that I listened to in my automobile. I mean, listening to Mark Twain talk about his life, or the guy being Mark Twain, is fun. And I would never read that book. It's thick. But great idea. Anything else? I mean, all this is sort of on the upside. I mean, I hope I have conveyed that this is not just all a matter of pumping yourself up. There are moments when we all need help, and that we need to be able to do that. And let our care coordinators guide us there, too. That's what they're there for. Okay, thank you very much for listening. I've enjoyed talking, and anytime. Okay?